The global economic landscape is in a state of flux, undergoing significant transformations that are reshaping the balance of power. Emerging economies are rapidly gaining influence, challenging the traditional dominance of established economic powers. A prime example of this shift is the BRICS group of nations, which has become a formidable force in the global arena. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, a coalition of countries with diverse strengths and shared ambitions. These countries represent a significant portion of the world's population and economic output, collectively accounting for over 40% of the global population and nearly a quarter of the world's GDP. China and India, with their vast populations and rapidly growing economies, are economic powerhouses driving much of the global growth. Brazil and Russia, on the other hand, possess abundant natural resources, making them key players in the global commodities market. South Africa, though smaller in size, plays a crucial role in the African continent, serving as a gateway to the region's vast economic potential. Together, these nations are seeking to reshape the global order, advocating for a more multipolar world where power is more evenly distributed. One way they aim to do this is by challenging the dominance of the US dollar, which has long been the world's primary reserve currency. The potential creation of a BRICS currency has sent ripples through the world of international finance, raising questions about the future of global monetary policy. Could this signal a shift in global trade dynamics? The implications are profound, potentially altering the way countries conduct business and manage their economies. This essay will delve into the motivations behind BRICS's ambitions, exploring the historical context and strategic goals that drive their collective actions. We will analyze the challenges they face, from internal political dynamics to external economic pressures, and the impact on the existing global financial system, which could be substantial and far-reaching. Additionally, we will examine the various infrastructure projects and development initiatives spearheaded by BRICS nations, which aim to bolster their economic standing and foster greater regional integration. Technological advancements and innovation hubs within BRICS countries are also playing a pivotal role in their rise, positioning them as leaders in the next wave of global technological evolution. Cultural exchange and international cooperation among BRICS nations are further strengthening their ties, creating a more cohesive and influential bloc on the world stage. As we look to the future, the rise of BRICS presents both opportunities and challenges, with the potential to redefine the global economic landscape in ways we are only beginning to understand. Join us as we explore the rise of BRICS, a story of ambition, cooperation, and the quest for a new world order. The US dollar has reigned supreme in international trade for decades. Its dominance stems from historical events and economic realities. The Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944 established the dollar as the world's reserve currency. This agreement pegged the value of other currencies to the dollar, which was backed by gold. This system solidified the dollar's position. It made it the primary currency for international transactions. The US economy's strength and stability further bolstered the dollar's appeal. Over time, the dollar became deeply embedded in the global financial system. Its dominance was further cemented by the petrodollar system. This system emerged in the 1970s when the US struck a deal with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil producer, agreed to price its oil in dollars. In return, the US provided military protection. This agreement reinforced the dollar's global demand. It made other countries need dollars to purchase oil. The BRICS nations, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are increasingly assertive on the world stage. These countries, representing a significant portion of the global population and economic output, are now seeking to reshape the global financial landscape. They seek to diminish their reliance on the US dollar, which has long been the dominant currency in international trade and finance. This move is not just about economic independence, but also about gaining greater control over their own financial destinies. The motivations behind this goal are multifaceted. On one hand, there is a desire to reduce the economic vulnerabilities that come with being tied to the dollar. On the other hand, there is a strategic interest in enhancing their own currency's roles in the global market. One primary concern is the vulnerability to US economic policies. The Federal Reserve's decisions on interest rates and monetary policy can have far-reaching impacts on economies around the world. often without considering the specific needs or conditions of other nations. The dominance of the dollar gives the U.S. significant leverage in international affairs. This financial clout allows the U.S. to influence global economic conditions and assert its interests more effectively. It can impose sanctions and influence the monetary policies of other nations. This power has been used on numerous occasions to achieve geopolitical objectives, often at the expense of other countries' economic stability. BRICS nations have experienced this firsthand. They have seen how economic sanctions can disrupt their economies and limit their growth potential. For instance, Russia faced severe economic sanctions following its actions in Ukraine. These sanctions had a profound impact on the Russian economy, highlighting the risks associated with heavy reliance on the dollar. This situation underscored the inherent risks of relying heavily on the dollar. It became clear that diversifying away from the dollar could provide a buffer against such economic shocks. BRICS aims to create a more multipolar world order. They envision a global financial system where power is distributed more evenly, reducing the dominance of any single currency or nation. They envision a system where power is distributed more evenly. This would not only enhance their own economic stability, but also contribute to a more balanced and fair global economy. A BRICS currency could be a step towards achieving this vision. By creating a new currency, they could facilitate trade among themselves and reduce their dependence on the dollar. Furthermore, a new currency could facilitate trade among BRICS nations. It would streamline transactions, making it easier and more cost-effective to do business within the bloc. It would reduce transaction costs and exchange rate risks. This is particularly important for emerging economies that are often more vulnerable to currency fluctuations. This is particularly relevant given the growing trade between these emerging economies. As trade volumes increase, the benefits of a shared currency become more apparent. The BRICS nations see a strategic advantage in promoting their own currency. It is not just about economic benefits, but also about asserting their influence on the global stage. It is a way to enhance their global standing and challenge the existing financial order. By doing so, they hope to create a more equitable and stable international financial system that better reflects the realities of the 21st century. Section 4. A new currency's birth, overcoming the hurdles. While the ambition to create a new currency is clear, the path forward is riddled with obstacles. The vision of a unified currency among BRICS nations is a bold and transformative idea, but it is fraught with numerous challenges that need to be meticulously addressed. BRICS faces significant challenges in implementing this vision. The leaders of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa must navigate a complex web of economic, political, and social factors to bring this idea to fruition. One major hurdle is the diversity of their economies. Each BRICS nation has its own unique economic landscape, shaped by different historical, cultural, and geographical factors. These nations have different economic structures, levels of development, and monetary policies. For instance, while China boasts a highly industrialized economy, India is still grappling with significant rural poverty and agricultural dependency. Harmonizing these disparities to create a stable and reliable currency will be a monumental task. It requires not only economic alignment, but also a deep understanding of each country's unique financial ecosystem. Another challenge is building trust and consensus among the BRICS members. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful economic union, and achieving it among nations with diverse political ideologies and historical tensions is no small feat. These countries have different political systems and often competing interests. For example, Russia and China have centralized political systems, while India and Brazil are vibrant democracies with their own sets of challenges. Agreeing on the specifics of a new currency, including its value, management, and reserves, will require complex negotiations and compromises. Each nation will have to make concessions and find common ground to ensure the currency's success. Furthermore, creating a new global reserve currency requires robust financial infrastructure. This infrastructure must be capable of handling large volumes of transactions efficiently and securely. This includes efficient payment systems, well-developed capital markets, and strong regulatory frameworks. Each BRICS nation will need to upgrade its financial systems to meet these high standards. The BRICS nations will need to invest heavily in these areas to ensure the credibility and stability of their proposed currency. This investment will not only involve financial resources but also human capital, requiring extensive training and development of financial professionals. The road to challenging the dollar's dominance is long and arduous. It will require unwavering commitment, strategic planning, and international cooperation. However, if successful, it could reshape the global economic landscape and offer a new paradigm for international trade and finance. Section 5. De-dollarization, a global trend taking shape. While a BRICS currency is still in its nascent stages, the trend of de-dollarization is already underway. Countries around the world are looking for alternatives to the dollar. They aim to reduce their dependence on the US financial system. This trend is driven by various factors, including geopolitical considerations, economic uncertainties, and the desire for greater financial autonomy. China, a key player in the BRICS group, has been actively promoting the use of its currency, the yuan, in international trade. China has established currency swap agreements with several countries. It encourages the use of the yuan for bilateral trade settlements. Russia, facing sanctions from the West, is also seeking to reduce its reliance on the dollar. Russia is increasingly conducting trade in rubles and other currencies. This includes exploring alternative payment systems to SWIFT, the global financial messaging system.